In this video, I'm going to show you an example of how I used ICT's son Cameron's trading model to find this trade ID, which I also sent out to the Signal Zoom so you could find a trade and take a trade using Cameron's system. I've done a video on this previously, but in this video, I'm going to show you a detailed example, a live example that literally happened today. And as you can see, price is running for over a 1-to-10 risk to reward ratio. And this is how you could have caught the full day's move from this system alone. So I'm going to go through completely everything with you and some more examples. And also, I'm going to be doing a $50 giveaway. All you have to do to win is drop a like, comment and subscribe, and the winner will be announced tomorrow on my Instagram and YouTube community, so keep your notifications on at 6 p.m. UK time. And remember, I can see if you've done these three things, so make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Now, as you can see, this setup was in the London kill zone session. Now, it works in any session really, but I prefer the London and New York kill zone specifically, so if I was you, I'd stick to them two sessions only. And also in the last video, I mentioned that ICT does not really care about the risk to reward ratio. Cameron himself has a 12 handle stop loss and a 10 handle take profit. So even though it's not even a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, he is still trading that setup. But myself, I prefer a set risk to reward ratio of a 1 to 2.5 when taking these setups. So essentially all we're going to be looking for is this 3-step model. We're going to look for a sweep on liquidity, draw on liquidity, and then I personally like to look for that 1 minute entry, and ICT himself says you can look for it on the 1 minute or 30 second. It's your preference. And I just like to choose the 1 minute time frame. And another rule I like to look for, and which ICT himself mentions, is I like to start off on the 1 hour, then go down to the 5 minute for my liquidity sweep, and then go for the 1 minute entry. But the 1 hour is good to give you that overall direction and see if you are trading in the right direction of the correct liquidity sweep. And on this diagram right here, I'm going to show you something which no one else really understands, and this is a misconception a lot of people have, especially when it comes to trading the strategy. So as you can see, price has swept liquidity right here, and the black lines represent the 5 minute time frame. Then after the 5 minute sweeps that liquidity, we're going to go down to the 1 minute time frame, and let's say our kill zone has already started. What a lot of people look for straight after the first break of structure right here on the 1 minute time frame is a fair value gap, and there's nothing wrong with that. If there is a fair value gap there, that's fine to trade off. But when there isn't a fair value gap here, and I'm going to show you this on the live market examples, a lot of people miss the full trade because they think they've missed out. But really, you can look for another break of structure and then look for another fair value gap to trade off. Just because there is not a fair value gap in this leg, it doesn't mean the trade is invalid. You can still trade off a fair value gap in this leg as long as you stick to the same protocol, get your entry, and then place your entry and stop loss accordingly, and look for that set risk to reward ratio of a 1 to 2.5, or if you're trading indices, look for a 12 handle stop loss with a 10 handle take profit. So now let me show you this example right here and how I call this exact area of interest, this exact sweep on liquidity, and the exact time that it would happen to the Signal Zoom. So let me show you that now. So now let me show you the message that I sent out to the Signal Zoom, and we absolutely killed it this month in the Signal Zoom. We smashed a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio trade this week, and we hit over 21R in the Signal Zoom this month. And as you can see, this is the analysis I sent out to the team. GBP USD September the 25th. The dates are right here, guys. So as you can see, I marked out the areas of interest. So now let me show you this on the trading view chart. So as you can see, these were the 2 areas of interest which I mentioned to the Signal Zoom right here in this message. And just to show you the accuracy of my levels, as you can see, price returned all the way back up to my other area of interest which I mentioned to the Signal Zoom, and as you can see, we absolutely tanked from there. So the accuracy in the Signal Zoom is absolutely crazy. I call these areas out to perfection. So if you haven't already joined the Signal Zoom, go ahead and join right now. The link to that will be in the description below. It's $30 a month right now, but because the value in there is absolutely insane, the price will be increasing. So go ahead and join. It's literally $1 a day, and the value you're getting in there is absolutely insane, guys. So go ahead, take advantage of the offer right now. The link to that will be in the description below. And also, just before we get into the live market examples, if you want to get funded 100% guaranteed, or you don't pay a single penny, our automated trading bot will pass the funded challenge for you like it has done for hundreds of other clients. We've got so many amazing reviews and testimonials on this group right here. As you can see, we funded this client $200,000 in 10 minutes, and our trading bot is the fastest passing algorithm ever. We passed a 6-figure funding challenge in 2 minutes. That is absolutely insane. So this client used our service, and 2 minutes later he was funded $100,000 in real trading capital. This is an absolutely life-changing opportunity right here. We've got full transparency on this group right here, so if you haven't already, go ahead and join up. We've got amazing reviews and amazing testimonials. As you can see, our clients are getting payouts from these accounts that we're funding for them. So take advantage, guys. I don't know what you're waiting for if you're not funded already. As you can see, we're passing accounts in minutes, reaching the max funding allocation for our clients in literally minutes. We have the fastest passing algorithm, and the best part is it's a 0 risk investment. So if you fail your challenge for whatever reason, we've never ever failed a challenge before, but if we do for whatever reason, you get a full refund, 100% guaranteed. So we refund you what you paid for the service and what you paid for the challenge. Literally 0 risk investment. You cannot go wrong. It's a guaranteed funded account waiting for you. And don't forget, you'll also be added into the Signal Zoom for completely free once you pass with us and get on the live funded stage with the funded fast service. As you can see, these are just some of the accounts that we passed, and just take a second to read this because we funded this account for this client and he was also added into the signal zoom to learn how to take trades on that funded account. In the signal zoom, we smashed a 1:5 risk to reward ratio. This person was up 5% on that account and he's now able to pay for his mum's medical treatment. That is absolutely crazy, guys. It's a life-changing opportunity right here for you. It's an absolute no-brainer, guys, so go ahead, get funded 100% guaranteed or you don't pay a single penny. And remember, my completely free community will also be in the description below. And now let's break down why I was looking for this exact area of interest to be tapped into. Now, as you can see, we had equal highs or relatively equal highs made with these highs right here. And right above this, we have a fair value gap and an order block. Now, a mistake I made, I didn't look for the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. I didn't look for the midway, the 50% of the fair value gap to be tapped into. As you can see, this was the correct area which I should have looked for, this 50% of the fair value gap right here. And after price taps into this area and sweeps that liquidity on the 15-minute time frame and also the 5-minute time frame, you can see that sweep on liquidity. Let's go down to the 1-minute time frame and let's see what's happening, because we're also in the London kill zone session. It's quite obvious. And as you can see in this leg of displacement right here, a lot of people may say this is a market structure shift. Now, although this isn't the highest probability market structure shift, ideally I would look for a market structure shift from around this low right here. There was no fair value gap present. This is why there was no entry valid at this point right here. But like I said in the diagram, this is a misconception a lot of people have. They think the trade is just completely invalid now, but that's not true. As you can see, we have broken structure, change of character, market structure shift, whatever you want to call it. It's all essentially the same thing. We can see this clear and obvious fair value gap right here, which does show displacement, and it's also in line with this order block right here and around 50% of this order block. Now, this is a mistake that a lot of ICT traders make. When they look for a break of structure, they don't look for displacement with this break of structure. Now, what is displacement? So as you can see, price closed below this level right here, but that's not enough confirmation for us to take the trade. That's not enough displacement. What we want to look for is a clear run away from that level and multiple closures below that level, showing that displacement, showing that smart money wants to move to the downside. We want price to show a willingness to go in our direction, which in this case is to the downside. And as you can see, there's clear and obvious displacement in this leg right here. So let's see what price does. Price taps into the area, and as you can see, price sweeps that opposing liquidity, which are marked out on the 15-minute time frame the night before this trade actually played out. And I even called it in the signal zoom. Insane accuracy in the signal zoom, and remember the link to that will be in the description below. But as you can see, price absolutely smashed that take profit level. And don't forget, you could still have your set risk to reward ratio of around a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio, but remember, looking at the 1 hour time frame, we are trading in the correct institutional order flow. And on the 15-minute and 5-minute, we did see that sweep on liquidity. We got our entry on the 1-minute time frame using this exact system. And you could target further levels of liquidity if you do have your overall daily bias. And as you can see from this exact trade, you could have caught the high of the day from this one setup alone. So as you can see for this example right here, we're in the London kill zone. Now, like I said, it doesn't have to be in the London kill zone only, it can be in the New York kill zone as well. We can see a pool of liquidity right here. What's resting above these highs? Buy stops. So what's price done now? It swept those buy stops. So you could see this as accumulation, then we could see a manipulation, and then we could get that distribution leg overall. Now we're trying to catch that distribution leg to catch the highest risk to reward ratio moves. Now, as you can see on the left, we also have another high right here. Now, it's not tapped into a clear and obvious order block area, but it has swept lots of liquidity. So now what we could look for is a 1-minute displacement, ideally a market structure shift if present, to then catch our entry with our fair value gap. And now you could see this as a liquidity sweep right here, and then a market structure shift in the opposite direction. And all we're looking for now is a valid fair value gap right here. And so far, there's only one fair value gap right here. And as you can see, we do have a small fair value gap right here, but it's also in line with this order block. So it makes it a high probability fair value gap to enter off. And simply, we're going to target the opposing liquidity. Now, you could have a set risk to reward ratio, like I said at the start, but you will find higher risk to reward moves if you do target opposing liquidity. So let's see how price treats this area. And as you can see, price taps into that area nicely. And let's see them move in the opposite direction now. And as you can see, price absolutely tanks from the area, and it keeps running to tap into this area of liquidity. And as you can see, price takes that out and runs for over a 1 to 11 risk to reward ratio, almost a 1 to 12 risk to reward ratio from this one exact trade. And this just shows you the power of the strategy. And don't overcomplicate the system. There's a lot of people on YouTube making tons of videos on this strategy that are overcomplicated, and I'm keeping it as simple as possible and simplifying these concepts down so that you guys understand it in the real live markets, because it's not always going to be as clean as one diagram. No, you're going to see some choppiness in the market, so I want you guys to understand that. And remember, my mentorship and course will be coming very soon for those of you that are really serious about trading and learning more and seeing seeing real results in the live market. So that will be coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And remember, if you want a chance to win the $50 giveaway, all you have to do is like, comment and subscribe. The winner will be announced tomorrow 6 p.m. UK time. That's all for today's video, guys. Remember, all the analysis that was shown in the example was sent out to the signals room, complete accuracy. So go ahead and join the signals room right now. It's literally $1 a day and the value you're getting in there is absolutely insane. You also have one-to-one support with me, so go ahead and join. The link to that will be in the description below. And remember, if you want to get funded 100% guaranteed, it's a guaranteed funded account waiting for you. If you're not funded already, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is the golden opportunity to get funded. If you're not seeing results from trading because you don't have enough capital to trade with, we will fund you. It's a guaranteed funded account. Go ahead and join. The link to this will be in the description below, so go ahead and join that. And remember, my completely free community is also in the description below, so go ahead and join that, guys. And that's all for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.